Welcome everybody to the astrology report for the week of the 13th of November all the way through to the 19th. We have an incredible week ahead. We have a beautiful trine, sextile between Mercury and Venus, as well as a glorious trine from Mars to Neptune. We're going to focus a lot on those beautiful energies in the sky as it applies to your sun, moon, and rising sign. So please listen for your own delineation. I suggest your rising sign is the most accurate. Also, we'll talk a little bit, but not too much, about the big Mars cazimi coming up next weekend on the 17th, 18th into the 19th. There's this energy of a big Mars reset. I've done a long 2-hour video on that already. Check it out on my playlist in my description box below. I'll add a link. But we're also going to do an update video on that Mars cazimi, and that will be a whole separate story of how your life resets over the next 2 years. So we're not going to cover that today because I've already done a video on it, but rather at the beginning of the week, Monday through Wednesday, Venus will flow in a beautiful and lovely conversation from her home kingdom of Libra to Mercury as he trundles through Sagittarius, as well as we move later into the week, Wednesday through to the weekend, Saturday, Mars begins to form a trine, a flow of luck and goodness toward the planet that we would love him to be trining, which is Neptune in this case, because Neptune here can bring us some kind of deep spiritual awareness, some kind of inner peace, some kind of creative intelligence that was normally not available to us. And we're going to definitely need it because this is a week in which that war situation in Israel and Palestine is bound to see some turning points regarding an attempt for peace and something new emerging. So we're going to get going and talk about that. Listen for your sun first, rising sign first, sun and moon next. I'll show you the chart. We'll get going and we're going to start with a bit of the world events and then we're going to move into your sign. Oh, by the way, if you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothe and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses. And if you're into this kind of thing, Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses, I'm also helping you delineate with fixed stars and asteroids how to time your best life using astrology and the wisdom of the sky to know what's up ahead and to plan ahead accordingly. All right, let's get going and do your all signs video. I had to pause the recording to get the chart up. So I've got the chart all ready to go. It's all queued up for us today. And we're going to go into this very positive sky this week. But just remember, it's happening on the backdrop, guys, of a very intense new moon in Scorpio happening on the weekend, which was basically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before now. Uh-oh. I think my whole recording just froze. If you saw me freeze just now, I don't know, maybe the internet went down, something like that. We're coming off of a very challenging and interestingly difficult new moon opposite Uranus that happened on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but really, the 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th of the month. And that's still playing out in the world. And that could be some really big shock and awe events. But that aside, there's some hope, a silver lining, a sense of maybe a small little rainbow, a small little unicorn coming up this week, hopefully that blesses us all. Because I know that a lot of us are very disturbed by world events right now. So yeah, and I say, don't hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to my channel. I'd really appreciate you helping me grow. Those little like buttons are very important in the YouTube algorithm. So I did freeze. Well, you're going to see how this progresses. If I keep freezing, I'll have to change my recording location. So I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm traveling with my man. I'm visiting him. So I have a makeshift recording studio here. So here's the sky, everyone. And this is what it looks like here on the 13th of the month, which is in my time zone, at this point, Eastern Standard Time. On the eastern seaboard of the USA. This is the 13th, Monday the 13th that we're looking at here. I'm recording this ahead of time for my Patreon community on Saturday, but you'll receive this Monday in the YouTube land. And if that interests you, ad-free early access content for $5 a month, plus free gifts from me, plus Zoom meetings with me and all of the back-end stuff, private classes as well on Zoom only on my Patreon community. Come check me out. It's in my description box below. So here we have Aries, just showing you the standard Aries sky. We're not doing all signs, just to show you what's going on so you can visualize what I'm about to show you. As you can see, this is Mercury and he's at 5 degrees of Sag after moving into Sagittarius on the 10th of the month. And he's coming into a form of a flow energy between Venus and him called a sextile. And that sextile between these two planets brings good things, because sextiles are the nature of Venus herself, and therefore are of luck, grace, ease, flow, and goodness. So we can see something positive showing up here in this emerging flow between the goddess of love and beauty and harmony and peace and friendliness, prosperity, in her own kingdom of Libra. And Libra is the scales of justice, but also the scales of peace. And then Mercury, the negotiator, the deal maker, is trying to form some flowing love to her. Problem is possibly the debility of Mercury in this sign, in which he is in a debility of exile from his home kingdom of Gemini. And as he's exiled, he's never in a good condition compared to his strength. He's yearning for his true home in Gemini, and he has to be in the kingdom of Sag, which belongs to Jupiter. Everything Jupiter does is larger than life, bigger than life, effusive, bold, declarative, expansive. But Mercury's the details guy, and he's also particularly tricky and trickstery, where apparently Jupiter is noble and the dispeller of darkness. So I don't know that this is going to form a lasting peace in the world. We will do your sign. It's not about peace for you. It's about other stories. But for the world, it can look like the beginning on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday into Thursday, as this sextile between Mercury and Venus is active, of some attempts by world leaders or interventions in the Gaza and Israel war. That is what comes to mind, but also Ukraine and Russia are still duking it out. So Ukraine and Russia as well. This looks like an attempt for peace talks, Mercury, talk, negotiate. However, Mercury is very hopeful and optimistic, unusually so when he's in Sag. He's like the prime mover of motivational speeches. He's probably like your Tony Robbins type energy here, and you may not have all the details. So somebody may be really gambling on good faith, because faith and goodness and good faith are words that belong to Sag. Good faith, deals and negotiations to broker peace, but the good faith is not warranted. And whatever temporary, say, ceasefire, truce, or slowing down of conflict somewhere in the world could escalate yet again, just for example. And the United States of America and Iran are both Sagittarius rising, just so you know. And so there may be stories about those countries coming up in which the word deals and peace and negotiations are emergent. Iran's leader just gave a long speech. I listened to it today. It was translated obviously to English. It was quite sensible. He's just saying, bring some medics in. Let's import some medics into Palestine. And of course, this has to stop. So, you know, the things that are going on with nations that have an ascendant in Sag, which, for example, are the United States and also Joe Biden as a leader, and also Iran, and also, my God, my brain's just gone offline. I think Netanyahu as well, in my memory of him. Let me just think about that. We should do his chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he's a Sag rising. Biden, Netanyahu, USA, Israel, Iran, all Sagittarius rising. Mercury is sitting in Sagittarius trying to talk to the goddess of peace. You can see that these stories are going to be strongly placed in our current sky, and we're going to be hearing things about that. Okay. Also, my memory serves me that Vladimir Putin has his Mars in Sagittarius as well, the god of war, in his second house. And therefore, again, that can also be about the Ukraine situation and some attempts at good faith, peace deals and negotiations being brokered here. That's just a possibility. So we'll see what happens. Now, as we get going and look at the sky, I want to also point out the next interesting part of the narrative. You're going to see that as this is going to move forward, Mercury will be pushing forward and moving into more of an intense connection. I'm not going to draw it yet. You're also going to see the emerging Mars. Yay, Mars! In Scorpio, right? He's definitely here with that sun, because on the 17th, 18th, he will be in the heart of the sun, resetting a narrative for each of us in the Scorpio part of our life for 2 years. And I'll be doing a whole separate video on that. But I also have one early video already out. Check it out, 2 hours long, with another astrologer that I created a lovely video with. But here is Neptune, 25 degrees retrograde, therefore moving where? Toward Mars. And where's Mars going? Toward Neptune. What does this mean? They are coming into a direct engagement. It's not Mars chasing after Neptune, who's moving forward. Neptune, unconditional love, dreamy idealism, fantasy, escapism, trance states, divine intervention, divine love, holy love, higher love, miracles, rainbows, unicorns. And Mars is moving towards Neptune. Well, Neptune, in a very, very slow grind, is moving in the same direction toward Mars. they're coming together. And so you're going to see this coming together become quite acute or more active, certainly on Thursday the 16th, Friday the 17th, and Saturday the 18th. These two are merging together. That means, yes, that this cazimi of Mars is going to form also a trine to Neptune. The cazimi is most active on the 17th and 18th, depending on where you live. Again, we have a whole video about the cazimi and another one coming out, so stay tuned for that. But I want to share with you something I really enjoy, and that's the book by Ren Butler. I'm going to stop the share just for a sec and read this book. Someone's trying to come into my Zoom room and I have no idea. So I just tell them Sky Reader is done. Someone's trying to come into my Sky Reader class. So that makes me laugh. We finished our last class last weekend of the 6-week class. Okay, so Mars and Neptune. My favorite book is Ren Butler. His book is called The Archetypal Universe. He's a friend and teacher. I'm hoping to have him back on my channel again. He's been on my channel before, hopefully this December, for some of my favorite astrologers coming back to talk about 2024 with me. And Mars Neptune, principles of a positive energy between them. In this case, a trine is a positive energy, the nature of Jupiter bringing luck, opportunity, and goodness, and expansion, growth, and light. Spiritual and creative vitality, magnetic warmth, charisma, a gentle and sensitive strength, gifts of compassionate action, and enlightened non-action. Here are some great quotes that he uses. He also calls it go with the flow and relaxed confidence and smooth strokes. But, I also think of it as like Mars is action. And yes, Neptune is like unconditional love or compassion or enlightenment in its highest form, especially in Pisces. But it's also a sign of religion, Pisces, as well as people who are the underdog. So keep that in mind. So compassion for the underdog or religious compassion, I don't know. So here's a couple of quotes for this Mars Neptune that he's come up with. The softest things in the world overcome the hardest things in the world. I love that. I also think of Mars Neptune like water erosion, is very powerful. We think of fire as powerful, bombs, explosion, but water like eroded the Grand Canyon, right? Water can be very powerful when it moves. Mars is in a water sign, Scorpio, in his home kingdom, in his dignity. And he's engaging Neptune water. So moving water, right? What is moving water going to do that's powerful and positive? And that quote, the softest things in the world overcome the hardest things, is by the Chinese sage Lao Tzu. So also he brings out compassionate action, right action, and enlightened non-action, being in the world but not of the world, acting without attachment to results. Maybe we need a spiritual figure to step into the war fray. And then he also has another quote: you must learn to be still in the midst of activity and to be vibrantly alive in repose, which is Indira Gandhi, who was born with Mars sextiling Neptune, for example. He also writes it's about the futility of war, the transmuting of aggressions, the dissolution of force, active passivism, passive resistance, the soft martial arts. And it's also about swimming, soaking in water, and tantric love and romance, deep soulful love and sexuality and romance. So if you don't see some hope in there, which I do, then we are all like looking at through the lens of the world through a very dark place. In his spirituality, he talks about Wu Wei, creative quietude, the water course way, being open to the flow of divine energy and consciousness, moving toward wholeness, entering into the mystery, and sacrificing one's ego. I'm a bit there, guys. I'm traveling. I'm in Atlanta. My partner had a cold. I think I'm coming down with it. I'm not feeling like my normal vim and vigor. You might note that I seem subdued when you move, and I'm in a makeshift room, and we're still building the closet, and there's some construction going on. I'm still trying to find my groundedness here in this place. So bear with me as I go through the all signs for you today, recording November the 11th for my Patreon community who gets this today, early access ad free, and then bringing this to you on YouTube on Monday. Whew. Okay, let's get started with the all signs portion of the show. I'm going to talk about that Venus sextile Mercury, and then I'm going to move into that Mars in a trine to Neptune, reminding you that I've already covered and don't wish to cover in depth here the Kazemi. It's way too complicated to cover in a short video for the week ahead. And that's why please check out the video with Rachel of Aeolian Heart, where we talk about the alchemical and the more magical and soulful level of this Kazemi. And a more mundane and everyday practical version is coming out for you before the 17th, probably early, maybe on Tuesday, to go with Mars, right? Mars Day is Tuesday, Mars Day. The 16th, you'll probably get a bigger, deeper video into the Kazemi from me. All right, so in the sky, here we have it. I'm going to start off with Aries, as always. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You guys know the gig. And as I do, listen for your rising first. It represents the time you were born, and the rising sign on the eastern horizon, whereas your sun is shared by 30 people born within 30 days of you, and your moon within 2.5 days of you. So just at a practical level, you can see why your ascendant, your time of birth, and the place of birth is much more particular to your way of seeing the world and represents you at the helm of your life, looking around all of the houses. If you don't know how to cast your chart in whole sign houses, please do. Check out my description box below for a free tutorial on how to do that. Hang on a sec, guys. Open a window here. And then you'll be able to understand how YouTube astrology works. Every YouTube astrologer is pretending that we're using a whole sign house system. So when you talk about Placidus, you're going to be very confused. All right. And a whole sign houses is the ancient system. I'll do a whole video one day when I have time on why the hell it matters and how it's actually quite accurate and even better than any quadrant-based house system, in my humble opinion, of 30 years of astrology. All right, so let's get started with the Aries folk. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Let's go into the story for you. Number 1, you're going to experience Mars, the Lord of your sign, you, eventually trining Neptune. So this is going to be very important, because wherever Mars is and whatever he does, you certainly should be paying attention, including the new moon that he was just chunked into behind us, and the Kazemi coming up on the 17th and 18th. So you should be listening for sure. However, the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we get this Mercury flowing to Venus, and that is going to be a feeling of some harmonious goodness as it relates to your significant other, marriage partner, business partner, client, audience, and marketplace, meanings and legal agreements, meanings of your 7th house, contractual legal agreements, and how it pertains to negotiations, deals, contracts, news, information coming from academic environments, foreign shores and foreign lands, trips and travel environments to foreign places, book publishing. This is great for any Aries who want to get a book published, get an agent, get a deal going. So your 9th house is also very much about legal and court matters too. So for some of you, you might be seeing the beginning of a resolution. It brings you a great deal of optimism and faith and hope that something good is trying to happen here to resolve some kind of court situation. And in my view, this is probably going to offer you an opportunity as well to do some kind of foreign shore endeavor that can be commercially successful, or some kind of academic acceptance or adventure or developments. It can be very successful. When Mercury is in the 9th house, he is a patron protector of travelers. And the 9th house is the pilgrimage house. Guys, I cannot get this right. So we'll do this for now. Hang on. Don't forget, I'm not in my own home. I'm just making the best of it. I'm just trying to get more air in here. Yeah. I'm in a newly painted room with outgassing carpet and stuff, so I can smell it. I'm just trying to open the window. What else can I tell you? It's good. It feels good. You're going to like it. And your partner may have some good news, may not be about you. The Venus can represent someone you're involved with in business or love, and they're going to have some good information or news coming through from foreign shores, foreign lands, foreigners, or things to do with academic environments or book publishing or court and legal matters. And then we move further into the month and we see the week, and we see that we get to experience some of the buildup on Thursday, which is the 16th, Friday and Saturday, of that Mars trine Neptune story. Now, don't forget, Mars is the god of action in his own kingdom of Scorpio. He likes to do watery action, which is intuitive action, flowing action, intelligent psychic development actions and decisions that can happen here. And he's flowing towards Neptune in your 12th house of foreign shores, foreign lands, far off lands, money and revenue from foreign lands. Because Neptune's transient, visionary, imaginal, like a theta wave brain state, like a hypnosis session. Some of you I'm looking at, especially with Mars, in a powerful and potent dream, Neptune, coming through on Thursday to Saturday, or vision or meditation or experience that's very spiritual. Both 12th and 8th are spiritual houses. You may have a spiritual awakening, a spiritual transcendent moment, or some visionary imaginal experience that brings through some very powerful, deep truth to you that you need and are ready to hear. That is like the deepest part of Scorpio is a search for what is true. Not just is it true in a court of law, but is it true in the nature of reality? Like when Neo got unplugged from the Matrix and found out what was really true about the way the world worked. That's what Scorpio is trying to dig up for you in the 8th house. So some big, powerful spiritual breakthroughs, and also maybe breakthroughs when it comes to self-undoing bad habits or addictions, if that is anything that has been bothering you in any way. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Finally, Neptune here definitely can look like an opportunity for travel if it involves seashores or oceanic places, and so with Mars going through in a trine, you may have an opportunity to go on a trip. And don't forget we have Mercury in foreign lands as well, and it would involve overseas or over shores or near shore travel, and the opportunity, should it emerge, will be very obvious to you Thursday through Sunday, and or Saturday, and you'll get your hand on it. I'd say even through Sunday. Mars tends to bring a delayed result after he connects to planets, so let's say Thursday through Sunday. I'll say that for all signs as well. Now we're going to move on and we're going to do Taurus, but before I do, I need to change my chart settings, edit the chart, and move it to the one that moves around, which is whole sign houses. All right. And we're going to roll. Okay. And moving forward. Oh, I apologize. I didn't hold. Give me a minute. I'm not going to stop my recording. It's just too much work. Whole sign houses. Where did you go? Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Like, I think I'm definitely coming down with that cold. I feel like I go back to bed and I'm trying to record a ton of videos for you guys. Whole sign, calculate. Okay, let's hope that held. Let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. No, it's not working. Isn't that funny? Okay, let me pause and fix it. If you're new to my channel, hit the like button, subscribe. If you're one of my regulars, thank you for being here. Misbehaving and LA Taylor and all of you guys. I can't even remember your names now. Discerning Light, Herbal Empress, One Wise Lady, One Rare Bird, Ashley Sending Light, and more. Thanks for being a part of my crew. Let me just pause this recording. And then what we're going to do is get back to the right one. Okay? So pausing the recording. Yes, I got the tech working, guys. Lori did it. So let's get back to the screen. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign in the sky. We have your story here. I like this idea here that you have a Mercury in your 8th house of chunky money forming in the beginning of the week, Monday through Wednesday, into Thursday, actually, a trine to Venus in your 6th house of work and health routines. This can look like positive financial developments regarding work, finances and work, finances and debt. Both 8 and 6 can bring debt issues to the surface, and being able to pay off a mortgage, pay down a loan, pay off a credit card, secure refinancing, or change a debt situation. And also Venus here can concern herself with rental situations and pets. And both of those look like pets and rental situations are tied to finances, but in a relatively positive way. Just remember with Mercury in detriment, and he's doing deals and negotiations around loans and mortgages, uni or finances and refinances or investments of some sort, or money you share with your spouse or partner, you need to do the fine print. You have to have someone look in on this and double check it for you. Mercury is not good at the details when he's in Sag, and he's got good faith, hopes, and optimism, but he may overlook the fine print. So check it out with a lawyer or someone who can witness it and check it out for you. If you have any financial dealings that require legal contracts around rental properties, pets, or debt elimination, especially with the South Node going through your 6th house, it could be a time now until 2025 where you're in a debt elimination cycle of your life and reducing any dependency on borrowed or loaned or money like that. Now, as well, you can see here that you have a movement of Mars as he gets round the circle in Scorpio, coming off that new moon, shocking on new moon on the weekend, and he moves into a flow to Neptune, and Neptune is waiting to receive him and moving toward him from your 11th house. This is all about something to do with your partner in love and business. Okay, sometimes your audience and marketplace that you attract or reach out to from your 10th house of career. And this is forming a relationship of flow to Neptune in the house of greater gains from your career, friends as benefactors or allies, some of your hopes, dreams, and wishes for your life, etc. So first of all, because the 11th house of good spirit is such a positive house, and you do have this movement here of Neptune as a retrograde planet moving toward Mars. It could be some old plans, dreams, visions, and hopes you've had for your life are moving into alignment, and you're ready to take action by having deals, partnerships, or negotiations formed to allow those visions and dreams to become a reality, especially ones that pertain to your long-range career goals and plans. Neptune retrograde here can also be some very unconditionally loving support from a big sibling or a friend, as it applies to any matters to do with legal contracts or deals, or to do with things that do with your marriage in particular. I don't know how to say this one, but there's a lot of energy going on for you. Taurus is in the 7th house. This is like a big reset with a cazimi happening here around love and marriage. Get ready for that. This is a big deal for you guys. And I hate to say it, but if you're in a non-satisfying longer term love relationship, this cazimi reset over the 2 years can destabilize that relationship, but it's for your best good. It's not the right relationship for you if that is true. And you may get the early intimations of disillusionment, but in a positive way, as you take off your rose-colored Taurus glasses on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and begin to see more clearly without the fog what is true about that significant business or love partnership or legal matter that you've been looking at. I think some of you will be seeing things clearly, and I don't think you'll feel like it's disillusionment, but just simple clearing the fog around significant relationships Thursday through Sunday, let's say. Okay, so look forward to that and see how it goes, Taurus. Anything I'd warn you about? No, not really. This is a trine that offers that deep imagination, that repose, that action within stillness, finding that still point. And it's like, how can you find that still point when it comes to the significant other in your life and come to a place of inner peace and stillness, so that wu wei, you're doing that action from that depth of stillness, and you know what the next steps are, or your partner does, either which way. Could you start a new relationship under this energy? Yes. If you do, with Venus in your 6th house, and Mars, Neptune trine, it's going to be very dreamy, very spiritually aligned, very magical, very looking for that divine complement. And Venus says also karmic debt relationship. So you would owe something to each other, and it would be very karmatic, especially with Venus co-joined with that South Node in whole sign house system way. So yes, you could start something new here, and it could have an auspicious beginning. But because it's coming into a cazimi, right, which Mars will die in the heart of the sun, there also is a potential short-lived component to that intersection for a new relationship beginning, let's say this week. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, it is going to look like you have a nice start to the week, coming off that intense Scorpio moon on the weekend that's resetting 6 months of activity in your 6th house of pets and tendencies and your work and health routines. You are also coming into the Mercury sextile to Venus Monday through to Thursday. So Venus is saying something like, hey, let's activate greater enjoyment, pleasure, and fun and play when it comes to your entrepreneurial endeavors, your interactions with your children, your romantic and sexual life, as she is in your 5th house at this time. And let's bring some money luck if you need it, especially given the end of the month she'll come into contact with that Pluto, which could be kaboom, some significant financial breakthrough for you. But in the meantime, earlier this week, and she's in that flow state towards Mercury. This is Mercury sextile in your 7th house. So this can be information or news that your partner in love or significant and long-term relationship or business is delivering that brings some positive developments in the finances, in your creativity and fun, play, and pleasure. Or you could just be also having some experience here of negotiating a legal contract regarding a creative project, a business endeavor, or something of great joyful meaning to you. Mercury is not in his best form. Get someone to check the legalese, fine print, because this is a legal house for contractual agreements. While deal making and negotiations around partnerships and such matters may be ongoing, it can also be important for you to get a real good look at the details, not just gloss over any legal agreements. And that would also apply to a partner looking at a legal agreement as well, and having a second set of eyes go over it for you. Now, later on in the week, as we move towards Thursday through Sunday, Mars forms that trine from Scorpio to Neptune in Pisces. as I said in the beginning, they're moving toward each other, making it even more powerful because Neptune's retrograde. So this is about your career ambitions. This is about Neptune in this regard, in the visible top of the sky, can be TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, or any videography platform. And so, or it also can just be the hopes and dreams and wishes and fantasies and visions that you have for how you would like to have a very spiritual version of a career path and meaningful career as well. Mercury's in the house of your work, your work routines, the way you do the daily work, your health routines, and he's flowing to Neptune. Now you could have a really good development here, and we know that there's a Cazimi coming in the 6th house to really change your work habits, change your workplace, change your job, change your work routines over the 2 years that follow. And this trine to Neptune suggests that part of the narrative is moving into a state of divine grace and flow, ease, and again, stillness, non-action, wu wei. Let me go back to that. I mean, because Wu Wei is what he talks about. I'm not Miss Wu Wei, right? But I want to make sure I represent the Wu Wei the right way. Because I mean, you go and Google Wu Wei, right? But let's just take another Wu Wei glance here from Ren Butler's book, The Archetypal Universe, which I read in the beginning. And he's saying the Taoist virtue of Wu Wei, or creative quietude, the water course way. True strength comes from being open to the flow of divine energy and consciousness. The Tao. It also says turning the other cheek. Good luck with that in a time of war. The Tao. Okay, so moving into the flow of the Tao, the water course way, the Wu Wei of things to do with work and career, success, dreams and goals, visions and plans is a big part of what the sky asks of you, and it will bring you the clarity you need and reduce the fog of confusion that you may have had Thursday through Sunday, as well as you can experience some miracle health healings, especially if it's something that's self-undoing or draining because of the pace of life, the pace of work, that kind of thing. And I have a progressed sun in Gemini. I'm pretty sure I'm coming down with a head cold. And it's going to take me, I'll be in bed reading books for a week. So good luck with getting any videos done on YouTube. You know what I mean? But maybe it's, you need a break. Your body says take a break and it gives you a head cold. We'll see. But you guys know I work hard, and maybe right now I need a break. And that's all this is. I can't keep feeding that algorithm. The old expression, he who rides a tiger cannot dismount. Where in your life do you need to dismount as a Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, where you need to find some grace in the work and health routine and career section of your sky? That's where I'm going to end with, and we are moving on to the Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the live premiere. Watching this replay on Monday, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and give me a thumbs up. All the good stuff that can help my channel continue to thrive in this very competitive and busy online world. So we have this Cancer energy here. Cancer, you're a water sign. So this whole week is going to be very lovely and super flow, super glow for you. Okay. So we're going to dive into that a little more specifically than we would for the non-water signs. Give me a minute though. I guess the little thing I'm getting is causing my throat to scratch. So if you're Cancer rising, Sun and Moon, and you have this beginning of the week with Venus going through your house of property, home, land, and real estate, this is like beautifying your home, beauty in the home, joy in the home, play and fun and pleasure in the home, and forms a sextile with Mercury. Mercury is about the work and health stuff. So work and health, flow and ease and grace. Home office, flow, ease, and grace. Repaint your home office, redecorate your home office, get a new pet that brings you great joy in the home. I will tell you, a lot of Cancers will be looking at pets, whether they think they want one or not. I bet you some of you get a pet. Mercury here is deals, negotiations, and contracts to do with rental situations. You may rent out a property, rent a home, rent out your home. These are stories that want to happen here for sure. For some of you who are looking for rental properties or wish to rent out a property that you own. You can release some debt if it comes to something to do with the home, selling a piece of furniture in the home, selling a property, and reduce your debt situations as well this week. This is in play Monday through Wednesday. Finally, if you are also thinking perhaps of improving your health in any way, Mercury is about research and understanding, getting new ideas for better health that also bring you joy in and from the home, right? So, you have, oh my God, if I'd only thought that I could clear out that basement and make it into a workout room, how exciting would that be? Or something like that can happen for some of you regarding health and home intermeshments or cycles of understanding. Thursday through Sunday, we get the beginnings and the energies of this Mars in a trine to Neptune, which will open up something between your 5th house of joy, play, fun, pleasure, romance and sexuality, children and entrepreneurial and creative projects, and Neptune in your 9th house of God, book publishing, third marriages, things to do with academic environments as well. For instance, it can be good news coming through that your child got accepted at their ideal school if you have an adult child going off to school somehow, or it could be something to do with some momentum or news or information, not necessarily news, but some directionality regarding one of your children. And it is feeling very clear. And if there's any confusion that you are having personally about projects entrepreneurially or creatively and their value in the ninth house energies of God, truth, and wisdom, and you're going to come to some clarity because 9, 5, and 1 are Dharma houses. And so your Dharma is at stake here. You're opening up a quarter to your most beautiful, divinely inspired purpose in life that's creative and inspirational and enthusiastic, that you motivates you, Mars, to do it with enthusiasm and vitality. Because you're a Cancer rising, if your Cancer sun, moon, and rising is between 20 and 29 degrees of Cancer, this really creates a temporary grand trine in the sky for you guys anytime between Thursday to Sunday. And that grand water trine is extremely powerful, positive, and lucky. So you're going to having some very personalized positivity. And, the fifth house is a luck house. The ninth house is a luck house. The trine is a luck trine. So looking at for you guys, 20 to 29 degrees of Cancer rising, sun or moon is exceptionally lucky for you. Leisure travel can be your fifth house. Mars likes to go on adventures. Neptune's in the house of foreign shores and lands. So some of you are opening up a corridor for some leisure trip abroad into a foreign place, perhaps a watery place. You may not take the trip Thursday through Saturday, but you may plan the trip Thursday through Saturday. Keep your eye on the ball. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Alrighty, so you fire signs. This is going to be Mars, a planet that has an affinity for Leo. Oh no, let's not start with Mars. Let's start with Venus. The beginning of the week, sorry about that. We're coming off of the new moon in Scorpio opposite Uranus. In your fourth house of home, property, land, and real estate, guaranteed a big number of Leo, sun, moon, and risings are going to change their residential place of living, home, or country over the 2 years that follows. This Kazemi that's coming up on the next weekend, the new moon, and doubles down on this intensity. But on top of all of that, right now, this week, Venus is in your third house of siblings, short distance travel, younger siblings, especially cousins, things to do with the online social media land, your virtual and local neighborhoods, both. And you also can do short distance travel with Venus when she's in the third house. That brings you great joy and pleasure. So here we have this Venus in a really nice flow to Mercury in the house of joy, enjoyment, children, fun, play, pleasure, and entrepreneurial endeavors. It could definitely look again at a repeating theme: leisure trip with a cousin, leisure trip with a sibling coming to visit you that brings you great joy. Many possibilities here. With Mercury here in your fifth house, you may want to consider buying a lottery ticket. He can be a games of chance guy in a money luck house. Venus in the third, buy it at the local supermarket, buy it at the local neighborhood thing. Or I guess you could buy it online too, but don't, know your limit, play within it. This is just a general idea. This is certainly not like follow my advice, but you could win some money. Mercury here could be negotiations with your children, conversations with your children, should you have grown children, with Venus in the third house, about things to do with the daily routines in the household, the daily habits, things to do with your local environment, the neighborhood, things around you and the children and the family, or discussions and changes regarding your children and the word education in elementary or high school, which is third house matters. And Venus is like trying to bring strength there. And conversations with the child may be ongoing for some of you, if you have children, around what they really want in terms of what school they want to be in or educational stories for them. With the trine to Mars, from Mars to Neptune, coming through the sky, Thursday through Saturday, this is going to look something like this. Mars is in Scorpio. He would like you to renovate, construct, change, cut, and sever or move your home or homeland. That's going to be true for the next couple of years because of this Kazemi coming up on the 17th and 18th. You'll have to watch my video. This coming up probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. But as Mars is in this fourth house of the sky down at the bottom, he's also going to flow to Neptune in your eighth house of chunky money from a house of the family and ancestors. So there's any kind of confusion, fog, or uncertainty around inheritance monies, family value, family legacy, land, property, real estate, home, buying, selling even. There's going to be some hopefully renewed vision, flow, divine action, clarity through surrender around these kinds of financial narratives. Technically, Neptune is in the house in which dead people can communicate from the great beyond. And maybe you're going to get some signs and signals from some ancestral line character who's passed away, sharing with you the right flow and action regarding homeland, property, and real estate matters. Again, it looks like many of you will make dramatic changes in and from and around your home over the next 2 years. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And rather dramatic at that, with Uranus in the mix from the 10th house. Some of you may change homelands as well, but big changes here. You know, Mars, if you're born with Mars in the 4th house, it can often mean you will be exiled. It means conflict in your childhood, fighting in your childhood with your family, or amongst your family, but it also can mean you will be exiled or move far away from your home, like Julian Assange is born with Mercury here. And so this is like a temporary version of a birth chart because of this intensity of the Cazimi coming up. So if you've always wondered if you wanted to live in a country other than your birthplace, this could be a clue that that's a possibility in the next 2 years. Alrighty, so we're going to keep on keeping on and moving on to the next sign. I'm just going to make sure this recording is still going. Is it? Oh, yeah, okay. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications if you're in the live premiere, and let's get rolling. Or you're watching on the replay too as well. I read all of my comments, so when you comment, I read, like, heart. I always try to catch up if I've been behind, but I read most of my comments. Alrighty, I don't have a staff, which I probably need next year. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Okay, Mercury is the lord of your sign. So you got to really pay attention to how Mercury through Monday through Thursday is moving in a really flowing, lovely energy to Venus in your money house. Now, this can look like an opportunity for a new job, new income source, close to home, at home, from home, money from selling a possession, money from selling property, buying property, that kind of thing. And so this looks very sweet for you. You may also be able to negotiate some kind of real estate deal or contract, or some operation of getting more money from some things you're doing in and from your home. Watch out for Mercury here, though, and this is Monday through Thursday, because he's in debility. So it may seem like it won't be too good to be true. It just requires your attention to make sure you iron out the details and look at the fine print, not to be dazzled by what looks like an amazing financial opportunity in and from their home, to do with something in the home, and even moving your home or selling something from your home or in your home, things like that. So just look at the details. Make sure you just don't gloss it over. Ask the questions. Check the fine print. Now, in the meantime, this is also the house of your face and how beautiful you feel. And so you may do some home cosmetic procedures. You might do some kind of home laser treatment. You might do some kind of beautification of your face from your home, in your home, or you could be beautifying your home as well, but you're looking at contracts and deals with Mercury down here in negotiations. So finding the perfect paint company or contractor to fix your home for you, or to tinker with something in your home. I think also that, the 4th house is your family of origin, often the house of the mother, but information news around mother and mother's wealth, legacy wealth, and money can be showing up this week as well because of Mercury's placement here, and especially in the flow to the node of fate in your 8th house. Now you take possession of some greater wealth from an inheritance or something like that. As we move forward then, Thursday through Sunday, we get that beginning of that Mars trine Neptune story, and it really is going to be something very powerful connected to your local neighborhood environment, your online world, your sibling relationships, things to also do, 3rd house matters, with your skills-based education and travel. Now, you're having a Cazimi here, and if you're somebody who loves to do a lot of short distance travel, the next 2 years could be less of that for sure. There's a big destabilization and change with that kind of stuff. But the Mars energy trining Neptune in your 7th house can open up a trip or an opportunity to travel, very divinely blessed, flowing, and lovely, with a significant other, usually a love partner. It can be business partners, and travel for business as well. And this is definitely something that could be actually taken or percolated between Thursday and Sunday. Now, Mars here can cut and sever things with difficult friendships from childhood, sibling relationships, etc. But that trine to Neptune is such a soft spot that you can work it out by finding that unconditional love, that place of your heart center, the place of deep realization of the unity of all things. And you can actually mend a very damaged or difficult sibling or cousin relationship, Virgo, in this Thursday through Sunday window of time. And finally, With Neptune in your seventh house, if you are online with videography like TikTok and YouTube, this can be a real glow up from the videography platforms. Mars in social media land, Neptune in the seventh house, giving you a big, nice, juicy up level in your social media life if that's something that matters to you. Finally, if you work in a brick and mortar business place, a tienda, a store, a local neighborhood thing, then you're going to also perhaps get some new exciting developments here for some new kind of work or career path locally, that is like your dream contract, your dream terms of service, your dream, negotiation for something that you really, really want. Okay. Now we're going to keep going, but it's like the Lord just wants to have a cup of tea and take a break. In fact, maybe she will. I'm going to stop the share. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. Don't forget to do all those good things for me. I really appreciate it. I can see that I'm coming down with something. I look like it. Thank you to all my regulars. I already called out a few of you. Thank you to Bold and Beautiful Tarot, Psychic Readings with Rose, Purple Table Tarot. Alrighty, who else are you guys? Linda Calder, Serge LaBelle, Michael Thrash, and more. I love that you guys help me grow this channel. I feel like we're a team, and I really appreciate all of you. I'm going to just pause the recording, get some tea, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's get going. Let's continue the show. I have my tea ready. Tulsi rose tea. Let's pass the Virgo story. I do believe I finished with you guys, and now we are talking all about you, Libra, rising sun and moon. Now, Libra, it's a big week for you because Venus is the lord of your sign, and she happens to be in her dignity in the house of you. This is going to make you feel more beautiful, more lovely, more persuasive, charming, charismatic, and just good about being you. And as she's moving through the house of you with all this charm offensive you have, she comes into Monday through Thursday into a trine, sextile to Mercury in the house of short distance travel, siblings, cousins. Third house matters also can be about short distance travel. It can be about your local neighborhood environment, also your virtual neighborhood if you're online at all. Certainly this can be a glow up in your online communications, your business engagements, your website stories, working on a website, writing projects especially. Oh gosh, does Mercury ever love to write when he's in the third house of communication? You could be writing up a storm, big, fantastical, beautiful, hopeful, optimistic, exciting memes of some sort. But also Libra, this is a good time for you to perhaps have a conversation with a sibling or a cousin or a childhood friend. It's going to be very positive this week, and looking for that conversation to bring a great sense of peace and joy to your life. It could be a phone call, email, or text. It doesn't matter. It's going to have a nice vibe Monday through Thursday, anytime in there. Finally, as well, if you are a Libra sun, moon, and rising born in the first 10 degrees or so, particularly, you might really get the most benefit from the super beautiful glow up Monday through this Thursday, feeling really good about being you, having great results on your online social media world, having an opportunity for a pleasurable trip, having great communications, texts, or emails from cousins, siblings, or childhood friends, for example. Finally, if you want to learn something Mercury loves to know and understand, and he's part of the mind of us and your mind, and you may be engaging in a possible new or learning direction as well, signing up for a course, negotiating a course, making a detailed agreement around a course. Just be careful. I say this all the time. Mercury is in Sag, and he is not Mr. Detail. So if you're going to plan a trip, take a trip, check out your flight information. Do you have, enough time to connect from one flight to the other? Are you looking at every detail needed in order to make that trip successful, that learning experience successful, that online experience successful, etc.? Now, as you move into the rest of the week, Wednesday through Sunday even, you have that Mars trine energy to Neptune. Mars is about action and decisions in your money house, your second house of earnings. And you, like a lot of Libras, are changing their career and or job in the next couple of years, thanks to not only the new moon behind us, but the Cazimi coming up on Friday, Saturday. And we'll do a whole video on that. But as that energy is beginning to percolate, you're starting to see something clearing in the confusing fog of your career and work stories. Neptune in the house of work and work routines, health and health routines, is also wanting, as he moves towards Mars, to clear and dispel confusion, illusion, discretion, and fog around even addictions, but also just ways that you're just unsure, uncertain, and maybe a bit deluded even about the thing you wish to be doing in your work situations, especially. Saturn makes the work life hard here for the next couple of years and and can challenge you to work hard. But if work just feels too hard and there's no enjoyment in it at all, then this can be the beginning of Mars cutting out of a career or work path completely for a lot of Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And you might get some extraordinary clarity this week about it. Your money stories and your earning stories can be undergoing some change this week, but it looks like some dreamy positive outcomes when it comes to work and money rather than negative. So look for those stories Thursday through Sunday as well. Your speeches here, what you wish to communicate through speech. And Mars is sharp and he's stinging with a scorpion tail. Ping! But he flows to Neptune. He glows up with Neptune. He favors the situation to be more unconditionally loving speech, more harmonious speech, more speech sourced from a deep stillness within you. And if you have to have conversations, it can be with people in the workspace, colleagues, co-worker type conversations that you may execute or put into motion in some very positive and powerful healing way this Thursday through Sunday, especially with Venus in the house of you. You're likable, lovable, and charming, and people would like to please you. You're Mr. and Mrs. Congeniality. So it's time to have those difficult conversations with colleagues, co-workers, and workspace matters, knowing that in that way that you do it, you will have a way of smoothing things over and bringing a sense of understanding, peace, and divine flow to those situations. If you are at all in a rental situation, there can be some changes here of your finance regarding your rental arrangements, also positive, and changes regarding pets and finances as well. Okay, I don't know how that happens for people, but maybe your pet's costing you a fortune, and it's a Great Dane, and feeding is too much, and somebody wants to take over and take the pet from you who loves big giant animals or something. That's a real stretch, right? But there could be changes with pet stories as well. Alrighty, moving into the next sign. Anything else I'd say? Nah, that's about it. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. What we got going on here is the week starts on the heels of an intense, shocking energetic of a new moon opposite Uranus and Scorpio, which is happening in your first house of identity, as well as the upcoming Cazimi on the 17th, 18th, which is also going to dramatically change your sense of self in the 2 years that follow. You're not going to recognize yourself, basically. All that said and done, this is a good week. Mercury will form a sextile to Venus. Venus is moving through her home kingdom of Libra in your 12th house of foreign shores, foreign lands, subtle things like your dreams at night, things to do with your inner life, your past lives, perhaps. Venus here is also, connected to like financial and romantic stories coming from foreign places or foreign shores. And she sextiles comes into a sextile formation with Mercury in the house of earnings and money and assets and possessions. So possibly you're going to acquire a foreign asset. That sounds like a spy movie. You're going to move into some kind of flow of goodness regarding contracts and negotiations, backroom deals, especially when it comes to work situations, especially with Juno, the contractual goddess in your 11th house of great gains. So you may have some negotiations going on in the first part of the week, Monday through Thursday, to do with your work situation as it attends to your paycheck, your earning structure, and all of that. Certainly with that sun involved opposite Uranus this week, a sudden shocking new job opportunity can emerge just for some of you Scorpios, where you're super surprised by what's on the table all of a sudden. And again, that interesting, surprising energy is very active Monday through Wednesday. When you move forward past that story and you move into the time of Thursday through Sunday, then we move into that Mars moving towards Neptune moving towards Mars in a flowing and lucky trine. Now this can be good news, or not news, but good storylines emerging here to do with your creativity, your writing, your singing, your dancing, your art, your performance art, whatever creative inspired photography, videography, Neptunian projects you're up to. If you do creative acts on YouTube, TikTok, etc., YouTube, then I say YouTube, Facebook even, but videography, reels and stuff like that, this could be a real nice, exciting, super sweet time for some greater success than you've had so far. Also, Scorpio, Neptune is in the house of romantic love, and Mars is about sexuality. It is a tantric sexuality, a deeper intimacy, a more magical kind of alchemical love that you may experience with some significant romantic partner this Thursday through Sunday. It definitely can bring the spark of love and romance to you. And finally, if you are somebody who has children, there's some positive developments around your children that you're also taking action on their behalf or help guiding them in with decision-making stuff with your children as a Scorpio parent, okay? That looks really quite divinely sourced and super flowy and super in the Tao, Thursday through Sunday. If you're an entrepreneur, fifth house is entrepreneurial. And if you are, you'll be working hard in your entrepreneurial creative endeavors over the next, until 2026 with Saturn there. But you're also looking at maybe a sweet entrepreneurial glow up, especially again, if you're using any videography or filmography type of platforms or tools in your way that you do your entrepreneurial business. You always have to watch when Mars is in the first house for injuries and cutting and hurting yourself and burning yourself. However, Mars is the Lord of your sign. He is in dignity. He's bringing positive changes to you. Just be very careful for you on Tuesday, the 14th, when Mars, Uranus are in opposition for a potential fall. Don't do that. Injury or burning yourself with hot water or something like that. That's the only thing I'm going to warn you, Scorpios, about. That's especially for Scorpios between 20 to 29 degrees of Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. And, Uranus could be some shocking, exciting developments with your main love partner. But again, Uranus rules the internet, and that can be some breakthroughs with audience, marketplace, clients, and even contractual agreements regarding creativity and art that you've been up to. I have a Scorpio rising shopping a book. I have a Scorpio rising sun who's put all his music on TikTok. So for you creative Scorpios, this is a nice vibe of breaking through to new levels of success with audience, client, marketplace this week. But again, watch for that Tuesday, the 14th, give or take it to on either side, because the sun in the house of you with Mars opposite Uranus can be injuring yourself. So be careful. Not someone necessarily injuring you, okay? Falling down, tripping on your stairs, burning yourself with hot water, something like that. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Okay, so in the sky here, what we've got going is that you've got this movement of Venus, and she's going happily through her kingdom of Libra, which is your house of good spirit, which brings luck and opportunity and great career gains, can bring benefits from friends, especially females who act like big brothers, sisters, allies for you. People want to help you, favors from people in lucratively high places, Venus and Libra, and more enjoyment and fun with your friends. And all that's going on. And as it's happening, Sagittarius, you have a flow with Venus to and from Mercury in the house of you. Important conversations are coming up for you this Monday through Thursday with friends, with larger groups of belonging and social groups that you actually want to be with that bring you joy. And some elder sibling energy could come into play, and very important deals, negotiations, contracts, or conversations with an elder sibling that could benefit you financially could be in the works for some Sagittarius this week. And also you may find yourself experiencing a bit of a glow up when it comes to your ability to be a very motivational, inspired communicator in ways that influence larger groups of people, masses, or a group that you belong to who's rallying around what you have to say, what you have to communicate, what your ideas are. Mercury in the house of you. When you come up with your communication and ideas, make sure you check your own fine print. You have a lot to offer in terms of kind of a bombastic, half full cup, faith-filled speech of some sort, but you may not even have the details ironed out yourself. So make sure that you do. As the week progresses, then we move Thursday through Sunday into the Mars trine Neptune. Mars is moving in the sign of Scorpio, his home kingdom, and he's in your 12th house. Well, he trines Neptune, moving retrograde, backwards in essence through your house of property, homeland, real estate, legacy, wealth, family of origin, the house of the mother. Your 4th house here, Neptune retrograding, it's helping you go back over recent developments to do with your home, and maybe even things to do with wanting to have your dream home, dream homeland, dream place to be that brings you spiritual peace, sanctuary, wholeness, and a sense of connecting to your soul. And as Neptune is retrograding over some old ground, he's talking to Mars in a house of foreign shores. Some of you may be consolidating a relocation to a foreign country, some longer, almost pilgrimage or time away in a foreign shore. If you already live in a country foreign to your home, you may be reassessing your decision. Mars is about decision making, action we take from the choices we make, the decision and motivation of what we do. He's coming into the heart of the sun on Friday, Saturday, and because of this precursor trine to Neptune, you may be coming out of a fog of this delusion or illusion that yes, by moving to Portugal or moving to some exotic faraway place from your natal place of birth, all your happiness will fall into place. So this can be a dispelling of an illusion, this building here, but it's for your greater clarity. And you may make a change of decision or action or direction around decisions already made regarding moving to a new land, foreign land, but even just moving your home in any way. It's moksha houses, liberation, spiritual awakening, 12 and 4. If you're going to have any awakenings as a Sagittarius, this is a time, Thursday through Saturday, the deep divine intelligence of unconditional love, unity consciousness is trying to reach you at a deep place of your karma, your past lives, your own unconscious mind, as well as a collective unconscious and the Akashic records. You can have a spiritual blowout, a big revelation sometime Thursday through Saturday that really does open you up, especially removes your attachment to the culture, tribe, and family to which you were born, so that you can liberate spiritually from the anchors of those realities into something far more Buddhahood, nirvana, samadhi, and transcendent for some Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising people. Not all of you, of course, because that would be ridiculous. You can't be that generic. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign in the sky this week, you have this energy of nice start, Mercury sextile Venus. Now, Venus is in her home kingdom in your 10th house of reputation and career. And for many Capricorns, this can be a time anyway, without the Mercury love up, of escalating your career, reputation, success stories, having lucky breaks up there, favors from people in the workspace, and promotions, raises, and just good stuff, being popular in the workspace. And then at the same time, Mercury wants to chime in from the house of foreigners, foreign lands, and foreign shores, offering up some goodness here, suggesting that perhaps some of your fortunes and luck are coming through far off people, far off places, and far off lands. The contracts and negotiations and legal matters, however, must be attended to with a fine print check list, because this is not the most powerful Mercury for seeing the details. It's more like good news coming through full of good faith. But oh yeah, someone, can you check if that's, legally true or possible or whatever? Certainly with Juno in the house of visas and passports and contracts and courts, there can be matters to check into. Mercury squares the god of visas to make sure that what you're planning regarding foreign travel, foreign trips, or career advancements are possible. Venus here is going to maybe be just simply some superior luck in your career and reputation space. And Mercury can be some backroom deals and negotiations that favor you. You might not even be aware of them, where they're all talking you up behind the scenes and they want to promote you. And you might even hear of that promotion then as this week comes to a close. And as we move towards Friday, that people have been talking favorably about raising your profile in any kind of workplace, especially since Mercury is the lord of your work a day world, your 6th house. Now, as we move into the week, we have a trine from Mars and Scorpio, his home sign, to Neptune and Pisces. And this is going to show up for you as a really deep, energetic, feeling, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of thing. Now, Mars here is strong. He's in his kingdom. He was just in a new moon opposite Uranus. He's going to be being born again in the heart of the sun, so he's still invisible on 17th and 18th. So stuff that he has to deliver, you may be delivered later than this week, but you may have a feeling that benefactors, allies, people who are wanting to be patrons to you, big sisters, big brothers, people who want to support you like a sibling who's older or an older sibling, are coming into the story Thursday through Sunday, offering you some perhaps purpose or career momentum and direction, because the sun is there, and connected to travel. Neptune is in the 3rd house of travel. You may have a work opportunity that requires you to travel, or a travel opportunity that ends up giving you a work opportunity. Also, siblings are very involved in both houses and 3. So some interesting breakthrough information and conversations could be occurring, connections to or directions with siblings Thursday through Sunday. Mars is going to dramatically change in the next couple of years the way you perceive your career gains coming from what area of reality, and some of your dreams and hopes for your life are radically forming and changing, reforming as well. This is true, by the way, for 2 years. So you're going to have to listen to my Mars Kazemi video, probably coming out on Tuesday, for all the details of that very exciting, very rare event that I don't think anyone should miss knowing about, because it resets your life for 2 years in a way you haven't seen since 1991. So Capricorn, the reset up here, and also this energy of the Mars trine does flow to your ascendant. And so specifically 20 degrees Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising to 29 degrees are going to feel the most positive energy and the most impact from what we're seeing here in the sky this Thursday through Sunday. Finally, I'd say Neptune, where you're confused, fogged up, and uncertain about where you want to be in terms of neighbors and neighborhood, local environments, that you want to, be proximate to, because Mars is the Lord of your house of home and land and real estate. Some of you are really focused this week, Thursday through Sunday, on the question mark, maybe not yet the answer until Mars is visible in January, of where you want to find your truest home, where you want to nest yourself, where do you want to belong. I hope that wasn't too slurpy. Anything else? Nope. Moving on. I'm one of you. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Number 1, this week starts off very powerfully after a very intense new moon in Scorpio, opposite Uranus, which is our 10th house of career and reputation. Then we move into a beautiful trine, a sextile between Mercury in Sagittarius. And that Sagittarius part of your sky is your 11th house of great gains from your career and your karmic rewards and allies and benefactors and wishes and dreams and fairy godfathers and good stuff, pennies from heaven. Mercury's going through here. He is sextiling Venus in our 9th house of academics, book publishing, foreign shores and foreign lands, court and court matters, third marriages, things to do with your belief in what's true about life, your spiritual philosophy, your religion, your ideologies as well, your beliefs. So Venus is in a Lakshmi house in India. A Lakshmi house is about good things, prosperity and luck and abundance. And she's also the goddess that represents that kind of energy. So this is a very fortunate and lucky time for you, just having Venus in your 9th house. But in this conversation with Mercury, us Aquarians are experiencing something else. It's like, where do we want to take this inherent luck that's divinely orchestrated through a south node, fated way, and apply it towards our deepest goals, visions, and dreams for our life, and maybe what we wish to communicate, market, or merchandise in the service of our highest goals for our career. Mercury here can bring you new ideas that influence large groups of people. Mercury here can bring you new conversations with people who support you as allies and benefactors that will align you with a deeper sense of purpose, but also thrival and luck that goes with that purpose as well. Mercury is not in great dignity in Sagittarius. Be careful for some of the promises made by significant elder sibling, big brother, sister type people trying to support and cheer you up or cheer you on even, but you make sure that you get a commitment from them that has some kind of depth of detail or a game plan, not just a casual, promise. It doesn't necessarily hold water over time, or you know what I mean, like can be very exciting until you ask for the actual execution of the details of how that could possibly work. Conversations with elder siblings can be very fortunate, especially when it comes to conversations about finances, if you have elder siblings to talk to. Alrighty, then we move later on, and that's going to be kind of Thursday through Sunday. We get that Mars moving through his home kingdom of Scorpio at the top of your sky in your career and reputation space. I know you've been working hard, because I have. That's why I've got a sore throat and I'm burning out. And I've got a cold from my partner, James, because basically we've been busting our balls up here, our watery Scorpio balls, working our asses off as Scorpio Mars has been in transit for a few weeks. So now he's coming into this intense cazimi, and we're going to do a whole video about that. It comes up Friday, Saturday, and that's going to be a video about how that's going to reset our career for 2 years. But as we approach that cazimi earlier, starting this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that trine from Mars to Neptune is its own sweet juice. And it's something like we want to take action and make decisions and create directionality, and likely a change of direction that aligns with what Neptune wants for our earnings. And Neptune wants spiritual, intensely, unconditionally loving, deeply magical stuff. And if you're an Aquarius, go back to 2011 when Neptune entered your earnings and money house, and you can go back and go, that's when the shit hit the fan, and all of a sudden your day job didn't seem meaningful, and then when you're all confused and fogged out about how to make money in a meaningful way. If you made money, you thought it was not without meaning, and now Saturn's here to give us 3 years of making money in a tangible, resourceful, lasting, enduring way in alignment with deeper truth, dreams, and visions. So at the beginning of this week, well, not the beginning, Thursday through Sunday, some of what that's about begins to emerge for most Aquarians. If you need to get rid of some substance addiction, Neptune can be things that are cause addictive, escapist tendencies in the house of things we eat. Mars cuts, ends, and severs, but he's cutting and entering and severing from the 10th house of reputation and career. So a dramatic example would be you were seen in public falling down drunk on video and it went viral or something. And then, oh my God, there goes your reputation and career, and you quit the sauce or something. On a subtle level, some kind of demands of your work, demands of your career, directional shifts and momentum will demand a more sober-minded approach. Saturn in the second house from substances of addiction. I'm already there. I can't work this hard, and I never was an addict to wine, but I just love wine. I'm going to write The Wine Lover's Middle Way. It's going to be a bestseller. It's going to be a podcast. Get ready for that. You wait till you see. That's my next thing, guys. All right. Yes, I own the domain. Anything else? I know someone's gonna say you just slurp your tea on a microphone. Oh my God, that is so gross. How dare you? And I moved my hands and I talked about myself. I'm not really angry about this. It just always blows me away how many people are so nitpicky. Go find another channel. It's all right. It's totally fine with me. Any last things for Aquarians? Yeah, well, it's just because the sun is on Tuesday opposite Uranus in the fourth house of property, home, and real estate. Some exciting or exhilarating or shocking, maybe expected or unexpected, but if it's expected, it's even still surprising you. Developments around your property, home, land, and real estate, where you're going to live, where you should live, versus vis-a-vis your career as well, could be also ongoing, and certainly connect to your financial goodness as well. So all those stories are very active this week. And we're going to move on finally to the Pisces, first and best and always best, sun, moon, and rising sign. First of all, this is a very flowy week for you. You're a water sign like the Cancer and Scorpio. The sky just doth offer up some beautiful flow. So you're not going to complain too much about it. The beginning of the week, we're coming off of the Scorpio New Moon opposite Uranus. This is like some jolts of unexpected developments. It can unfold over the next 6 months, really, not just on the new moon, to do with your visas, passports, foreign lands, foreign travel, legal and court matters, things to do with journeys and travel. Again, siblings can be involved as well. That's another story. That's a longer story. That's in my shocking Scorpio New Moon video. Go watch it. It's already out. But then we come off of that, and then we end up with this extraordinary energy of Venus in her home kingdom of Libra, your chunky money house, forming a flow to Mercury in the reputation and career house. Something could come through that looks like a commission, a severance package, what do you call it, a startup fee, sign-on bonus, some kind of negotiations, deals, or news or information around work and career where you get an up level financially for some reason. A chunk of money coming in from the Venus and Libra can be, with Mercury ruling your fourth house, a real estate sale or deal, or things to do with legacy, wealth, family of origin, property. But whatever the money jolt of goodness is, or energy of goodness is, Monday through Thursday, it also can support you to be more vocal, have better ideas, and better ideas for things you wish to create in your career, reputation space. It's almost, you could even say, a financial goodness gives you some space to breathe and think about what you want to do in your career. But again, it can be very literal. We get severance packages, sign-on bonuses, we get commission money from sales. So there's some kind of chunks of money that aren't just money for dollars per hour that could be showing up for you guys, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising, and especially active in the early degrees. So anyone with a Pisces, sun, and moon, and rising in the first 11 or 12 degrees of Pisces could get more of that glow up that I'm speaking of here. Then as the week progresses, then we move into the energy of Thursday through Sunday, where Mars begins to trine, Mars in Scorpio in your ninth house begins to trine Neptune in the house of you. Now, Neptune's been in the house of you ever since 2011, and a lot of you have been very dreamy, confused, fantastical, unsure, hopefully didn't deal with too many addictions or seeming mental health challenges, but you've been going through the ringer in a Neptunian way, dissolving who you thought you were to become who you truly are, to wake up to the truth of yourself, to become somewhat enlightened. And as this Neptune transit is now coming to a close, by the way, in the next couple of years, you're finishing strong. Neptune here is retrograde. You're going back over some visionary dreams or thoughts or ideas that you may have had, or a visionary or enlightenment-y content that you've been digesting, and you're going backwards over it, or ways you've been in escapist mode and you're reassessing that. And that Neptune is applying towards Mars, who's moving towards him. They're coming into a union here. Mars would say, move in alignment with your dharma, move in alignment with your truest gifts and talents, move in alignment with the meaning of your life, move in alignment with the way that your soul has planned for you in this life. And Mars would say, also cut away any beliefs, any ideas, any philosophies that are no longer needed, that you had swallowed and drank that Kool-Aid, Neptune, that old zealot of religion in Pisces. It's time to drop those beliefs now as well, because whatever remains when Mars cuts away an old belief will be the core essence of what's true and deeply true, not just for you, but likely true in the most reasonable sense. Just when we talk about Neo in the Matrix, Neo in the Matrix could have believed in any kind of religion he wanted. None of it would have been true because he wasn't in a true place. He was in an artificial reality. So therefore, this is your kind of breaking free of beliefs that hold you back from being asleep. It's a red pill in the Matrix. So for spiritually inclined Pisces, it's a beautiful wake-up call. However, Mars is traveling often in foreign shores and foreign lands when he's in the 9th house, and there may be some developments Thursday through Saturday through travel to foreign shores and foreign lands in ways that impact your body, impact your physical health, where Neptune is sitting, in a positive way, and could clear the fog of confusion about health problems, mental and emotional and probably physical, and you could be clearing through some of that too, almost like clearing it out, clearing it through. Mars has been in and is in a broad square to your house of significant marriage partnerships and business contracts. Watch for that this week as a Pisces sun, moon, and rising. First of all, not a square, I'm sorry. Mars has been in a sextile trying to fortify business partnerships and marriage contracts. So watch for that. This can be an opportunity for a business contract or agreement or legal agreement and even agreement with a significant other to do with foreign shores, foreign lands, and travel coming through, but also opening up a greater vista of possibility for what you wish to have as your higher dreams and values and goals for a meaningful life, or a life that's on purpose. And that's all I have for you. Thanks for listening, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you're new to my channel, hit the like button, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. At this point, I was going to do my Mercury and Sagittarius video, which is overdue. And I don't think I have the bandwidth to do it on Saturday, November 11th. So you'll be seeing that coming out quite a bit later than it should be, but it's a long deal because Mercury in Sag is also going to be retrograding. He'll be there all the way through till January. So this is a really big story, the Mercury story. So I don't want to whip through a cursory treatment of what is a powerful transit. So even though I'm late, bear with me, guys. I'm only human. This is rose Tulsi tea. It's so amazing. It's made by who? Oh, it's so good. Organic India. And look, it even has the right color tag for my background. Oh my God, I can tell I'm coming down with something. Thanks for listening, everyone. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Yada, yada, yada. Thank you. Oh, 2023 All Signs videos are on pre-sale. I even forgot to pitch it. That's how out of I am. By November 25th, they're delivered to your doorstep in your email box. If you want to get the pre-sale, 35% off, $49 for 75 minutes. Videos times 12 plus a PDF guidebook for the year ahead that you can print out to guide you through the transits themselves. And you do want to make sure that you are grabbing that once in a lifetime deal. It will be for sale later at full price. It's like, I think it's $77. If you want to get it now, this is your chance. And listen for your sun, moon, rising. Listen for your friends and family. Listen, give it away as a gift, as a stocking stuffer, because you're giving them access links to the hidden content. And I don't mind if you share it, if you buy it, if you share it with friends and family. Certainly don't resell it. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Ciao from Atlanta, Georgia. Bye.